Welcome to Eye on America. I'm Michelle Miller. Today we examine cutting-edge medical breakthroughs and social programs that are making life accessible and equitable for more Americans. In California, we meet a pianist whose Melodies for Remedies program is showcasing the healing power of music. And later, we speak with Grammy-winning legend Paul Simon about his continued struggle with hearing loss and see how scientists are working to potentially reverse the condition. But we begin in South Carolina, where roughly 30% of the staff of one unique establishment has an intellectual or developmental disability. Meg Oliver checks into the hotel that's giving adults with disabilities training and a shot at independent living.
In the heart of downtown Clemson, South Carolina, the Shepherd Hotel is a community hub, buzzing with locals and visitors.
Can I get the fluffy buttermilk pancakes, please?
Like most hotels, the staff is what makes the difference. But here, it's the staff that makes it uniquely special.
Hey everybody, I'm Alex Evelyn.
Like many of the Shepherd's employees, Alex has a developmental disability. In his case, Down syndrome. As a child, doctors never thought he would walk or talk.
Have you ever taken a day off?
No, I love it walking.
Would you ever even dream of taking a day off?
No.
According to a survey, about 16% of people with intellectual disabilities are employed. But here at the Shepherd Hotel, around 30% of the staff have intellectual disabilities and make far above federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour.
How are you?
A server in the restaurant, Alex is learning the ropes from Marcus,
A nice quiet place.
while his buddy John mans the front desk with Marsden.
If we do our job right, someone leaves here inspired.
The hotel's owner, Rick Haydick, brought his vision of employing intellectually disabled people to life. 2 of his 4 children have Down syndrome.
What happens when I'm the 80-year-old sitting in church with my, a 50-year-old Down syndrome kid? My wife and I were saying, how do we avoid that?
If you like waffles and you have a full box, and that should be one of your breakfasts.
The hotel partnered with a program at nearby Clemson University called Clemson Life. Students, including Haydick's daughter Jamison, not only take college courses, they learn skills to help them live and work independently.
We got bottle brushes.
Starting from the moment of that alarm going off, to have time management.
Erica Walters is the program director.
Banking, budgeting. When it's grocery shopping, they are going through their inventory here, and then they're going to the grocery store.
97% of the graduates are employed. Plans are underway to open 2 more similar hotels in South Carolina next year.
We want to grow for the sake of inspiration and change.
Changing lives like Evelyn. He graduated from Clemson Life in May and is now working toward a hospitality certificate.
My dream is to open a restaurant one day.
Did you ever think you would live by yourself?
No, never. I'm so happy.
Do you miss living with your parents?
No way. No.
Sorry, Mom.
Thank you.
Today, Evelyn has a full schedule, going to class, managing the Clemson basketball team, pledging Delta Chi fraternity, and working.
Why are you so happy?
Because no time to have a bad day in life. Because I want to tell people could do anything in life. The falafel salads.
Evelyn is proof people with intellectual disabilities can do whatever they put their mind to when a shepherd shows the way.
Too easy, dude. Good to see you.
We turn now to ongoing efforts to train more African American doctors nationwide. One major focus has been to ease the financial burdens for medical students at historically Black colleges and universities. Jerika Duncan learns how more Black doctors can lead to a healthier country.
You are doing amazing.
40-year-old Dontel Johnson dreamed of becoming a doctor as a child. Did you see any Black doctors? Did you know any Black doctors?
I had never seen a Black doctor growing up. And one of the crazier things is I never saw a Black doctor until I hit college.
Johnson decided to apply to medical schools in Texas. But when a friend told him about a potential school in Nashville, Tennessee, full of Black students, he was in shock.
I told him he was a liar. I said this place didn't exist. I went
What,
home
what
that
did he
night.
tell you that you
He-
really
he
thought it
started
didn't exist?
describing a place of people that looked like me, that were dentists, doctors, scientists. So I went home that night. It was still, I had dial-up internet, so I had to wait for it to pop up. And then these photo stills came across of Meharry, and I applied that night at maybe like 1 or 2 a.m.
Johnson graduated from Meharry Medical College. He decided to stay in the community and is now a pediatrician and a professor there.
I think one of the things that's really coming to light, that patient population of African Americans and how systemic racism, how history, how the healthcare profession overall has not always been there for this patient population.
A population that has better overall health outcomes when treated by Black doctors, according to recent studies. To further those connections, this past August, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg announced a $600 million gift to all 4 HBCU medical schools. Combined, they have educated roughly 50% of all Black doctors in the United States. Currently, African Americans make up about 14% of the population, but represent a little more than 5% of doctors.
Having a healthcare professional is important in the community, but also having a Black healthcare professional raises all the boats.
Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice is president of Morehouse School of Medicine in Atlanta. How does that uplift everyone?
First of all, it's going to allow us to educate and train more Black and brown physicians, and it's going to allow those students to have more choice in where they want to practice and to be less burdened with debt.
And that's something she's already seen. In 2020, Bloomberg gifted Morehouse School of Medicine $26 million to help students pay down debt. Resident physician Jamil Joyner received $100,000.
It not only says we believe in Black doctors, it says we believe in Black institutions and how they will play a role in changing healthcare for Black individuals.
For Dr. Dontel Johnson, more investment in Black doctors is needed.
I'm a living witness of that, of training up African American physicians that cater and care for the underserved. So when you look at the data together and say that, hey, when we partner with African American physicians and we put them in communities, we actually see less strokes, we see less hypertension in the community, we see less obesity.
Healthier communities, a healthier nation.
Coming up, how a disabled former congresswoman is using AI to advocate for others with similar challenges. Welcome back. Jennifer Wexton served for 3 terms in the House of Representatives. She retired from Congress earlier this year as she continues to battle a rare, incurable neurological disease. As her mobility and speech have become severely limited, Wexton has turned to AI tools to speak for her and help her to advocate for others. Scott McFarland spoke with the rep while she was still in office to learn why she's utilizing her new voice to call for change.
For Jennifer Wexton, her 3rd term as voice of Virginia's 10th congressional district will be her last.
This very impressive new AI recreation of my voice does the public speaking for me now.
1 year after announcing she was diagnosed with progressive supranuclear palsy, which she calls Parkinson's disease on steroids, Wexton is retiring. There's no cure for her condition, which has rapidly robbed her of her ability to move freely, balance, and most recently, her speech.
Clearly, my mobility and my speech have been severely impacted, but I'm still the same person on the inside.
It's a stark change for the former courtroom prosecutor. A debater so skilled, she flipped a longtime Republican congressional district to the Democrats in 2018.
I stand before you tonight as your Congresswoman-elect.
Now she uses artificial voice technology to say aloud the words she prompts on this screen.
I still nitpick grammar with my communications team and chime in with my quips or jokes in my group chats, just like I've always done.
The mother of 2 persevered through a grueling year in Congress, midnight votes, standoffs, gridlock. On a huge campus, she still crosses by foot.
Do you wish you were running again?
The way that this disease progresses, I doubt that I would be able to make it to the end of another term. And I really do want to spend more time with my family and friends while I'm still able to enjoy it. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize...
But before departing, Wexton has broken new ground here, seeking and securing formal approval to use her artificial voice technology in a formal speech on the U.S. House floor.
I hope I can be a voice, even an AI voice, for Americans facing accessibility challenges and other disabilities.
How important is that precedent?
You know, I think that was a real breakthrough for the disability community because, you know, this place is not very disability friendly.
Virginia Democrat Jerry Connolly helped recruit Wexton for her first run for Congress in 2018.
She hasn't engaged in self-pity or asked others to engage in pity. She is a professional. She's doing her job.
That's a point she stressed to constituents when she announced her rare diagnosis in 2023.
So please, you're welcome to empathize, but don't feel sorry for me.
Since then, Wexton has fought for change, including a bill she pushed to provide a national plan to combat Parkinson's and related diseases.
I may have needed to play the "I'm dying and this is a priority for me" card, but this disease has to be good for something.
We shift now to San Diego, where one college student is volunteering her free time to play piano for seniors with Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Carter Evans meets the pianist who's playing a joyful tune about the benefits of music therapy.
For college sophomore Grace Sun, playing the piano is therapeutic, not just for her, but also her audience. In her free time, she volunteers to play for seniors.
The concept of music therapy is using music as a healing tool to provide comfort and happiness to those living with dementia and Alzheimer's disease.
She was inspired by her 79-year-old grandmother, isolated at the height of the 2020 pandemic.
This is really detrimental to the mental health of these seniors. And I was thinking, what if I used my interests and my passions so we could help out these people?
It sparked her idea for Melodies for Remedies. The concerts were virtual at first, playing for hospitals and senior centers. But over the years, it's grown into a movement with more than 100 musicians performing. Studies show music therapy can boost cognitive function in Alzheimer's patients by up to 50%.
And they start talking, and it's almost like they become a different person, like when they were younger and they weren't suffering from this neurodegenerative disorder.
Over the last 4 years, Melodies for Remedies musicians have performed for more than 40,000 seniors around the world.
Music, from my experience, is a universal language, and I think it deserves to be shared around the world and to whoever needs it.
Bringing back old memories while creating priceless new ones.
I will come back here. It's such a pleasure coming here.
Ahead, iconic musician Paul Simon takes us inside an initiative working to cure hearing loss. This is Eye on America. We close our show exploring a condition that affects a significant portion of our population. More than 27 million Americans between the ages of 20 and 69 have experienced hearing loss. This group includes legendary singer-songwriter Paul Simon. In recent years, the Grammy winner's hearing loss has been so dramatic, he says he now has just about 6% hearing in his left ear. Anthony Mason tagged along with the legendary artist to visit the Stanford Initiative to Cure Hearing Loss, where teams of doctors and scientists are working to prevent and repair hearing impairments.
Sliding away. I guess what I'm most apprehensive about would be if I can't hear well enough to really enjoy the act of making music. I know, man.
One of the greatest songwriters of our time now struggles to hear his own music on stage.
My voice feels like it's over there.
In the past few years, Paul Simon has had dramatic hearing loss.
There's only about 6% in my left ear.
At soundcheck for a rare concert recently,
Just a tiny bit more guitar on the sides.
he had to make adjustments.
I've got a speaker here.
Yeah.
I've got one here, and I've got one coming from here. And when the balance is right, I can hear well.
How long did it take you to work this out?
It took a while. We just made this change to larger speakers.
He's also had to change how and what he plays.
I'm going through my repertoire and reducing a lot of the choices that I make to acoustic versions. It's all much quieter. It's not, you can call me Al. That's gone. I can't do that one.
Doctors at first told him there was nothing they could do. But then Simon heard about a project in Palo Alto.
I'll be using a microscope to take a look in your ears.
At the Stanford Initiative to Cure Hearing Loss,
So I'm putting a speculum in your ear.
Dr. Konstantina Stankovic is leading a team of more than 100 scientists.
You're looking at cochlea now?
No, we cannot
can't
see
get with
the
that.
no.
The anatomy of the ear is still mysterious.
Hearing bones are the smallest bones in the body, and then they are connected to the inner ear, which is called the cochlea, and it looks like a snail.
Roughly the size of Lincoln's forehead on a penny, the cochlea is fragile. Doctors have no way to biopsy it without causing deafness.
Because it's so tiny, it's hidden in this hardest bone in the body, it's located deep in the skull.
Some animals are able to correct their own hearing problem.
Yes, absolutely. We actually have the same genetic machinery, it's just turned off in people. And the key question is, how do you turn it on?
Yeah.
And how do you turn it on safely? Because cancer is regeneration gone awry.
That's what they're researching at Stanford.
This is our nursery over here.
This is your nursery? In her lab, geneticist Teresa Nicholson showed us how she's been studying zebrafish. Is there some similarity in their hearing to ours in some way?
Oh, yes. Yes. So their inner ear is very much like our inner ear, the part that we use for balance. Just tap on the dish. See that?
Oh my God.
That's the acoustic startle reflex.
With a simple experiment, she compares them with zebrafish that have hearing loss mutations.
You see some that are just laying
Yeah.
on their sides?
over there,
Yeah, yeah.
But they've made a recent discovery.
And we can rescue hearing with an FDA-approved drug.
Wow.
These mutants that never reacted to sound before, tapping on the dish, they react. And we're totally excited about this.
Right.
And perhaps it can be,
Used.
Used for humans.
Yes, absolutely.
Down the hall at Stanford,
With this microscope, we can go up to about 80,000 frames per second.
biophysicist Tony Ritchie is experimenting with hair cells from mice. It's the hairs in the ear called cilia that transmit sound to the brain.
This is one hair cell. Wow. We pushed here. This is the electrical response we get. So this is what the hair cell is sensing.
What do you learn by studying this?
So the hair bundle is the site of where most damage happens.
Yeah.
So with aging, with noise, we are trying to understand how the bundle, like it's a machine, right? So how this machine works normally, so then when we know what parts are getting broken, we can figure out how do we fix it or how do we replace it.
This is cool.
Surgeon and scientist Dr. Alan Chang is using gene therapy to coax the damaged hair cells in mice to regenerate.
You guys are the first to see this.
He's also studying human cochlea samples from organ donors.
We're the only place in the world that can do it, in fact.
Wow. The team was surprised to find damaged human hair cells do begin to regenerate partially. Is that regeneration?
This is without drugs. So we see that human can actually start the process of regeneration before we put drugs in.
Now, they need to find out whether the drug cocktail they've used in mice could work in humans.
My mom, who has hearing loss, she's been asking me, when can we regenerate cells for her?
That's what I've been asking ever since I met you guys.
We're working on it.
When we were done, Paul Simon put back his hearing aids. Stanford hadn't offered any easy answers, but Simon said his visit here
Gives me hope that there is some significant improvement on the horizon. Said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls.
for now, as he showed at the Soho Sessions in New York.
And whispered in the sound of silence.
He has adapted.
You know, Matisse, when he was suffering at the end of his life, when he was just in bed, he envisioned all these cutouts and had a great creative period. So I don't think creativity stops with disability. So far, I haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
And I hope not to.
For more stories like these and live coverage of breaking news, stream us right here on CBS News 24/7. I'm Michelle Miller. Thank you for watching Eye on America.